What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American, here today to react and learn about current news in Norway. Because as an American, I never get to see Norwegian news here in the United States. So today, I'd like to take some time to learn about the current news and events happening in Norway right now. Starting with cruise ship tour guides fined for disturbing polar bears on Svalbard. No way! Wait, what? So cruise ship tour guides were fined. They are disturbing the polar bears? In Svalbard. Svalbard is, like, an island north of Norway, right? Oh my gosh. Cruise ship tour guides. Oh, 2 tour guides from a French cruise ship have been hit with hefty fines after they led a group of tourists towards land in the northern portion of Svalbard, where a polar bear and her cub were feeding off a dead whale. Why are they doing this? Why would you ever lead a group of people towards polar bears? Oh my gosh. This is so irresponsible. That's absolutely not allowed, and local authorities cracked down. So they got caught. Oh my god. They saw polar bears? Eating a dead whale. So they led a group of tourists towards it. Oh my gosh. This is... Are you kidding me? Well, I'm glad no one was hurt. Both of the polar bears were disturbed and withdrew from the area where they found food. Also, the polar bears were, like, scared away, said the local sheriff, Sesselmesteren, in the Arctic archipelago under Norwegian jurisdiction. Yes, environmental and climate activists have been worried about rising tourism and the increasing number of passenger vessels cruising around Svalbard. And this is not going to help. Oh no, they're kind of ruining this for everyone. Like anyone who wants to visit Svalbard, now they're going to really be cracking down on tours, making sure nobody's doing anything wrong. It just takes one bad tour guide, or 2 in this case. In this case, the tour guides were too eager to give tourists a thrill at the expense of endangered polar bears. Oh my god. Well, I guess that tour got a really, really, really special tour, because that's the last tour that's ever going to be allowed anywhere close to the polar bears. Oh my god, that's crazy. Oh man, that's kind of irresponsible. Okay, what else? Banahia killer appeals new conviction. A killer in Norway? What is this? Banahia killer appeals new conviction? This is a Norwegian man who was convicted for the rape and murder of an 8-year-old girl in Kristiansand in 2000. Oh my god, I never heard about this. That's horrible. That's disgusting. He's appealing his conviction? What do you mean you're appealing your conviction? No, just go to jail. What? He was convicted again on Tuesday for the rape and murder of her 10-year-old companion? At the same time. On Friday, he filed an appeal, meaning that the nightmare for the girl's parents isn't over yet. Yeah, exactly. The girl's parents have to go through all these trials and courts and court dates and see this person. Oh my god. This was 24 years ago. The Banhea murders. It's been an ongoing nightmare for both girls' families. Oh my god. That's so sad. And now the parents are still having to deal with this 24 years later. Well, I hope this person is in Norwegian prison. Earlier this week, a court in southern Rogaland claimed there's no doubt Jan Haug Andersen, 43, acted alone in both murders. He admitted to the rape and murder of 8-year-old Stein Sophie Sorstranen, but had claimed his friend had forced him into the crime. What? He was ultimately convicted of raping and murdering the best friend, 10-year-old Paulson, as well. Wait. Is this a different person? Oh, Anderson claimed that his friend had done it. Christensen was convicted of raping and murdering the best friend, 10-year-old, and had served a longer prison term than Anderson. Christian had denied having anything to do with the murders, and DNA evidence just cleared him. Anderson is the one who raped and killed both girls. They thought it was two people who did it. It was just him. Wow. This is just so sad. So sad that this is having to come back to light. I'm glad that they freed an innocent man. Apparently there was an innocent man in Norwegian jail. Oh my god. He's been cleared, and Anderson is convicted of both counts. Horrible. I had never heard of this case. Let's keep going. Oslo court's terror verdict. Historic? Terror verdict. What does this mean? An Islamic gunman who killed 2 people and wounded or traumatized hundreds of others during the Oslo Pride celebrations in 2022? I don't think I ever heard about this as well. Oh my, this is always so shocking to me, because Norway is really known for being a very peaceful, low-crime country. I know that there is crime, there is murder in Norway, but, oh my god, there's a gunman? Killed 2 people? Traumatized hundreds during a Pride celebration. 2 years ago. He has set a new record for punishment in Norway. Okay, good. He was sentenced to 30 years in prison and may remain in custody for the rest of his life. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely he should be in custody for the rest of his life. He killed 2 people and tried to kill more, probably, after becoming the first person to be convicted under the new and harsher terms for terrorism. Okay, I'm glad Norway is enacting some new laws that give harsher penalties for certain crimes. Matapor was branded a terrorist after he went on a shooting rampage downtown Oslo, tried to kill homosexuals and create fear in the gay community. Wow, fired 18 times at random victims. Oh my god. He shot his gun 18 times. It's a miracle only 2 people were killed. That's horrible, but it could have been worse. An outraged passerby wrestled him to the ground. Oh, wow, that's amazing, good. And held him there until police arrived. He was charged under the new terms of an anti-terror law that had taken effect after the Norwegian terror attack where 77 people were killed. That was later increased to 30 years. Okay, so it increased from 21 years to 30 years. Yes, everyone always says how kind of shocking it is that in Norway, the maximum sentence is 21 years. I'm glad it's been increased to 30 years, but there are certain people who should be in prison for the rest of their life, right? I think Norway has a way of doing that. You can keep someone in Norwegian prison for their whole life if there's ways to do that, I think. Wow. This is another thing I hadn't really heard about. So this is historic. Someone sentenced to 30 years in Norwegian prison. Wow. Well, good. Good. Okay. Oh my God, I'm afraid this week the news in Norway is a bit sad, bit depressing. A lot of crime. Well, these are old cases, aren't they? From 20 years ago, and this one was from 2 years ago, but still, Still. Alleged spies arrest sets off alarms? A spy? A spy in Norway? Oh my god. There is some really wild news this week. I had no idea. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about when I say we don't hear about Norwegian news headlines here in America. I had no idea about this stuff. This is huge. The arrest and imprisonment of a Norwegian man charged with spying for China has rung new alarms over national security in Norway. There's a Norwegian man who's been arrested. He's accused with spying for China? Oh my god, of course this would sound the alarms in Norway. National security issue. It's also raised questions over whether Norwegians are too naive and trusting. Oh, I don't know. How did they find this person? How did they discover that this was a spy? A Chinese spy? Are you sure? Oh my god. Norway is, fortunately, a country where we largely rely on one another. It's called Norway's latest espionage case. However, a useful reminder that Norwegians must be more conscious of how foreign intelligence agencies operate. We must not be naive, says the Prime Minister. Right. It's a wonderful thing that Norwegians really trust each other. The Norwegian community is amazing, trusting, but that also leaves room for people to exploit that trust. So this is just probably so disturbing for Norwegians, I imagine, to find out that a Norwegian person is capable of doing this, of betraying, being a traitor to the country, basically. Yeah. Norway's police has long claimed that China poses a major threat, espionage threat. China is interested in Norwegian technology. Wow. Wow. The Norwegian citizen now under arrest hasn't been publicly identified, but is a relatively young man in his 30s. He was born in Norway, grew up in Oslo. This is a Norwegian person who was spying for China. He's highly educated, both in Norway and abroad. He has ties to a Chinese university. He speaks Chinese. Oh, this is probably how they found him. There were these sort of clues that he had a close relationship to China. But still, you don't expect them to be a spy. Just because they're learning Chinese doesn't mean they're a spy, but wow. They arrested the man late Monday after he landed in Oslo's airport. He was on his way home from a trip to China, charged with espionage and held in prison for at least 4 weeks with no visitors, no contacts, other than his attorneys. He denies that he's a Chinese agent. He claims he's not guilty. Wow. So this is going to be a big case in Norway. Big. A Norwegian accused of espionage, spying. Wow. That's huge. I can't believe that that's not news in America. Wow. Man attacks royal palace in Oslo? What? Am I reading this correctly? Man attacked royal palace in Oslo? What is going on in Norway right now? These are shocking me. Oslo police have arrested a man in his 50s from Belarus after he hurled fire bombs at Norway's royal palace. On Monday, he failed to do much damage. He hurled fire bombs at the Norway's royal palace. Are you kidding me? The man had several more bottles containing liquid when he was seized, says the Oslo police. These will be examined by the bomb group. What was this guy doing? He was trying to throw fire bombs at the palace? Is so outrageous. I'm glad it really didn't do anything. That's good. What was he trying to accomplish? Burning it down? Or that sounds like a terrorist threat too, right? The man had told a passerby that he had a bomb with him, and the passerby alerted police. This guy told somebody nearby that he had a bomb. This guy is not very smart if he was trying to take Oslo Royal Palace by surprise. Not a very good strategy. Shortly thereafter, the assailant threw what has been called Molotov cocktails at the door and the rear side of the palace. They set off flames, a lot of smoke. Okay, police were in the area. When he threw the second firebomb, they arrested him immediately. Okay, here we go. The man's motive remained unclear. What is this person doing? What is going on? What is going on? Wow. Nor could police say anything about the background for the attack, whether the assailant acted alone. He is identified as a citizen of Belarus. He's been sought by police in the Netherlands, but the background for the Dutch arrest warrant wasn't clear. So he has a record. He's being sought after by the Dutch, but we don't know what for. King Harold and Queen Sonia, who live on the top floor of the palace, usually leave the palace during the summer. Yeah, what if the royal family had been there? One member of the royal family was in the palace at the time. Wow, but we're not sure who. This is so unfortunate because it's kind of like Svalbard, where people are allowed to visit Svalbard and enjoy the area and see polar bears from a distance. It takes one person to ruin it. And now the palace is open to the public. But now you got people running up throwing fire bombs at the palace. So I don't know if security is going to have to be increased or what this is going to do, but it's really sad to hear about. There's a lot of... I have to say, this week, looking at these headlines, there's a lot of weird stuff happening in Norway. This first one turned out to be the most innocent. Seeing the polar bears, disturbing polar bears, that was the most innocent one. Then a couple about murders and from a while ago. The Norwegian spy. Oh my god. The royal palace fire bombed. What is going on? This is crazy. I don't know what to think. A lot going on that I missed. This is why I'm glad to be up to date on Norwegian news, because this is just, I never know what to expect anymore. Wow. That's a lot to think about, but I didn't enjoy the bad news this week, but I am glad to be up to date and be informed. So I enjoyed that. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a like or leave a comment with your thoughts on any of this Norwegian news this week. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Norway and Norwegian culture and learning about Norway, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.